losing self-control. I keep telling myself, but I don't want to let you know.
Hi everyone, so to get started on this summer festival inspired makeup look, we're going to start off with the foundation, and we're using the Fenty Beauty foundation in the shade 180. And I decided to speed this part up because I take so much time on my foundation, and honestly I feel like I haven't gotten it right yet, but yeah, so I took a while blending it, and you just want to use a damp beauty sponge and just dab it all over your face, and make sure not to pull or tug on your face because that's going to ruin the effect of an airbrush look. And then next we're going to take this concealer by NYX, and we're just going to dot right under the eyes and any imperfections, and we're just going to blend that out. And for this look I really did not want to go heavy on the makeup, at least for the face, because usually when I think of summer festivals, I think that it's really hot, and I can just imagine how much hotter it'll get, especially in a huge crowd. So I decided to try to keep it lightweight and just use foundation and concealer wherever necessary. And so as you can see here, I'm just dotting it on some dark spots and some blemishes, and then blending that right out. And I apologize ahead of time if you can tell that I'm lisping. It's because I'm wearing my retainers. So excuse my lisp right now, but moving on, we're still blending out that concealer as well as the foundation. And then right before setting the face, what I like to do is I like to take a damp beauty sponge and just kind of blend out the under eye real quick right before I set it, so that way it's a smooth surface and it doesn't set with any wrinkles or lines or anything like that. And then I have been picking up a few tricks. I've been watching Alyssa Ashley, oh my gosh, I can't talk. I've been watching her for a while, and I've just been picking up some tricks from her. So right now you can see I'm setting my face with a facial spray and then moving on to my brows. So I'm just going to comb it out, and then I'm going to take the Anastasia Dip Brow, and I'm in the shade dark brown. And what I'm going to do is just kind of outline and trace my brows. And fun fact, probably a boring fact, but I got my eyebrows waxed for the very first time. And it's actually the first time I've ever had like a professional service done to my brows. So I was actually kind of nervous, but the lady at Benefit was super nice, and she made sure I was doing okay throughout the whole process. And she really did shape and wax my brows really well. So I'm really happy with how they turned out. So as you can see, I'm just filling out the ends and kind of gradually outlining the front of my brow. And then I'm kind of feathering it out because I do like that ombre effect. So as you can see, I'm not dipping into extra product. I'm just kind of using the leftover to get that gradient effect towards the front of the brow, and then doing upward strokes to mimic brow hairs. And again, what I like to do at least is just keep it darker towards the tail of the brow, and then gradually, rather than build it, not build it, if that makes sense. I can't talk right now. It is like midnight. Yeah, so as you can see, it's having a gradient effect, and it does look a little intense now, but we are going to brush it out with the spoolie. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do an updated brow routine, but this is how I've been doing my brows now, and I actually like how I do it on top of the foundation. I don't know why, but for some reason it's a little bit easier. And as I said before, we are going to brush the brows out to kind of not have the brow color as intense and kind of just even it all out. And then set it with some brow gel, which I don't think I showed. But yeah, so after this step, you just set it with some brow gel to make sure the hairs stay in place and make it even look neater. And the brows are done, and as you can see, I'm using the Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette, and first we're going to take Amethyst and use that as the transition shade. And this is kind of the main color, so we're really going to buff that out and take our time blending. And what I liked to do for this look is I kind of made a cat eye effect, so I elongated the outer corner of the eye by kind of making a wing with the shadow. And again, take your time blending. What I like to do is some circular motions going outwards and inwards, as well as wind wiper motions. And as you can see here, I'm winging out that shadow to create a cat eye effect. And I just have to say, at least in my opinion, this look goes so well with brown eyes. So for all you brown-eyed people there, this look is for you. And then we're going to repeat the steps on the next eye, and again, take your time blending. This is the type of look that you kind of don't want to rush. At least for me, whenever I go to like a special or fun event and I like to really dress up and put on some makeup, I like to take my time and just kind of enjoy this moment and almost have it like a therapeutic session. I don't know, that's just me because I really like makeup. But yeah, so again, do that cat eye effect and kind of wing it out using the brush, and then just buff it out to kind of make it a gradual transition to the brow bone. And as you can see, it's already, at least in my opinion, coming through. This color is so beautiful on its own, and honestly, I don't know why I haven't been using it more often, at least as a transition shade. I've always been putting something on under it, but I think that took away from the actual color of Amethyst. So by itself, it's already gorgeous, and honestly, this palette is amazing. And then next we're going to take Twilight, and this is going to be the main star of the show, and we're going to pat that on the lid, and we're kind of going to do a cut crease but without the whole concealer. We're just going to pack that color on until you're satisfied with how saturated it is. And what I like to do is I kind of like to line up the brush with the hollow of my eye socket, so you can kind of just push onto your eye and you can see that little divot that is below the brow bone, and you can try to just line it up there. And I just take a flat rounded tip brush to kind of make the line a little bit more precise and outline it right there. So as you can see, I'm doing the same steps on the other eye, just kind of outlining the half moon shape, and then taking more pigment and just packing it on to make sure that color really stands out. And then next we're going to go back with Amethyst, and we're going to blend the outer corner with that lid shade that we just put on so it flows more smoothly and effortlessly. And this is also in case if you just lost any color when packing on that second shade. And also don't forget to blend in between packing on to make sure that the two colors blend effortlessly and you have that really nice transition from light to dark. And then we're going to take Amethyst again, but this time we're going to put it on the lower lash line, and we're going to drag it a little bit lower to make that purple really stand out. And so we're going to pack that on and make sure to connect it on the colors from the top lid so it again really completes that cat eye effect. And honestly, I feel like it just created a more hazy summer-like effect to the look. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I really like how it turned out. And again, when you're packing on the color, make sure to blend it out, and this will bring the shadow even lower and kind of not make it as harsh. So this look is pretty simple. So far we've only used 2 colors. So next we're going to go on to Twilight again, and basically we're going to mirror the colors from the top lid onto the lower lash line and kind of put that right into the middle. And I feel like this opens the eyes way more and kind of brings light into the eyes. And again, this goes so well with brown eyes. I don't know what it is about purple and brown eyes, but they go really well together. And make sure to pack on that color to really make it pop out and stand out. And then next for the inner corner, we're going to be taking 2 colors, and these are the shades Retrograde and Nefertiti. And I kind of wanted to mix these 2 colors to kind of deviate a little bit from the color palette, which is the color purple, and kind of go for a more gold tone color. And I feel like this goes really well, and again brings so much light into the eyes, and I think this looks really good in photos. And so we're just going to pack that on and make sure to blend it out so it doesn't look too harsh. For mascara, we'll be using the L'Oreal Voluminous X Fiber and Black Primer Mascara, and we're going to go in with step number 1 and prime our lashes, and make sure that it's really clean and lightweight and not too clumpy, because we are going to use some falsies. And then moving on to step 2, we're going to really darken up those lashes and elongate them. Moving on to false lashes, we're going to be using the Ardell Faux Mink in the number 810. And I feel like these were perfect lashes for this type of event. They're kind of fun, a little bit flirty, and I like the spiked effect. I don't know, it just adds that more festival feeling look to it. And we're just going to pop that on. And what I like to do for lashes is I let the glue become tacky and then place it right onto the middle of my lid and then let it settle in, and then move to the outer corner and the inner corner and adjust accordingly as close to the lash line as possible. And for the lower lashes, we'll be using Essence/Princess Mascara and lightly put that on. And we want to make sure not to touch the lower lash line, just to prevent from messing up our shadows that we worked really hard on, and also the foundation and concealer. And next we're going to be using the NYX Wonder Stick, and this is in the shade Universal. And I love to use this to contour my nose because it's so easy and it blends out really well. So we're just going to lightly put that on the nose, and I like to blend it with my fingers to kind of give it more warmth in order for it to blend more effectively. And then if needed, I just blend it out with a sponge to kind of make it more natural looking, if that's what you want to call it. And we'll do the same thing on the other side, just blend it out with the finger to kind of warm up the product, and then finish off with the beauty sponge. And for one of my favorite parts, we'll be using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Opal and using that as a highlight. And we're just going to lightly dust that on the highest points of our cheeks, forehead, nose, and our lips.
Keep telling myself, but I don't wanna let you know. Is this what we become? Strangers on the run, looking for something, chasing the sun. All those days trying to find a place.
For highlighting the nose and the lips, I like to take a smaller, fluffier brush so it's more precise on the application. And I kind of just dust that right on the bridge of my nose and on the tip, and then right on the cupid's bow, as well as the brow bone to make that brow bone pop and give it a more wet look effect. And if you think the highlighter is too harsh or concentrated, what I like to do is just take a clean brush and kind of blend it out and make sure that it's nicely faded into the foundation so that it doesn't just look like an awkward white streak. And then next we'll be taking the NYX Sweet Cheeks blush palette, and we're taking the first and the 7th color. There's no names or numbers or anything like that on this palette, so yeah, it's the first and 7th color. And we're just gonna dab off the excess on our hands because this palette is really pigmented, so you really want to be careful. And just kind of dust that on the cheeks to give that nice rosy flushed look, which I'm sure is not a problem, especially in the heat of summer festivals or just summer overall. And then next we'll be taking this NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee, and we're going to pop that on to our lips. And I hardly use gloss, but I really thought that it would go really well with this look, again to add to that more wet effect of the look and summer festival vibes. And I'm taking a Carmex lip balm to moisturize my lips first of all, and also add more to the shine. And I feel like this really helps with giving that plumping effect. And I really liked how this turned out. And next I decided to add a little bit more oomph to it. So I took the shade Twilight from the palette and just dust that right onto the center of my lips, and I really love the effect that it gave. And because we use the same shade as our lid, I think it went perfectly with the eye look. So that, guys, completes my video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I hope you guys recreate this look. This is probably one of my favorite, more colorful looks out there. But anyways, don't forget to follow me on all my social media, and as always, all of it will be listed down below, as well as all the products that I use. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!